as well as it ever has if they are to try and get to the semi-final.
Tentu akan sangat amat menarik bagaimana Ukraina berusaha memberi kejutan kepada timnas Inggris yang masih clean sheet atau belum pernah kebobolan selama ajang.
As the players take to the field to line up, really looking forward to this particular game. Beautiful stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Rome, a classic, iconic venue, fitting for a game of this magnitude. It's Ukraine against England. We will hear the respective national anthems of both teams, and then we'll hand you over to our commentary team for the evening of Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of England.
Well, around 10,000 in the stadium, all in good voice. Well, Ukraine went to a back three against Sweden with Sergei Kristov of Shakhtar, the extra defender. He was limping at the end of extra time, but has been past fit, and so too the captain, Andrei Yarmolenko, who's playing his 99th international and his 5th against England. There is one change, with Vitaly Mykolenko, who's a left-back, coming in for the more experienced Stepanenko, 6 of the 11 from Dynamo Kiev. Well, England have knocked out the German playing squad, but that means an extended involvement for the team of German officials, headed by Dr. Felix Brich, a doctor of law, very appropriate. England do revert to a back four, with Kyle Walker moving to right back and Kieran Trippier dropping out. This allows for a recall for Mason Mount after his period of self-isolation. And on the right, after much head-scratching from Gareth Southgate, it is Jadon Sancho who comes in for the injured Bukayo Saka. Sancho's first start of the tournament and his first action since his transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Manchester United was agreed. service is everything. And it's been solid in that respect for both these countries to have got this far. Yaremchuk play in attack with Yarmolenko. Scoring a goal against England has been difficult, in fact impossible so far. Can Ukraine break down that resistance? England have been taking a knee before all of their fixtures in the tournament. They respect the other nation to have their own views on it. And you can see that Ukraine have not joined in, which is their right, of course. So Ukraine, the underdogs, the surprise name in this stage of the competition. It's been such an open field. Who knows what the next 90 minutes or maybe 2 hours will bring.
Yep, it has been a tournament of surprises, of shocks, of the underdog progressing.
Early involvement for Sancho.
Yeah.
Week for him.
Gareth Southgate talking after the match against Germany, just wanted more runs in behind, more of a threat. And Sancho can do that on the right-hand side, as can Sterling on the left. We've seen that already.
Here is Sterling with the 3 of the goals for England. And really regaining his best form for his country at the right time. Reverting to an orthodox right-back role. Here's Harry Maguire, who was excellent in the win over Germany, as most of the England players were. Luke Shaw was involved in both goals. Cleared by Zabani. Well, he's got a lot of connections with England. He played for Chelsea. His last ever game as a player was against England. His family lives in London. And his 14-year-old son is a member of the Chelsea Academy. He's a former Chelsea fan, and Luke Shaw. Walker. It's certainly warm enough here, although England played their first game against Croatia in searing heat in England. And Gareth Southgate spotted that up as they cope with that okay. I think the tempo will be varied here. It's not a kind of conditions that, aside from the north of Europe, we want to go hell for leather out for 90 minutes. Pick your moments.
Yeah, we've seen a few injuries, haven't we? A few players pulling up with cramp and pulled muscles. We are at that stage of the tournament. This is where coaches have got to evaluate where their players are in terms of the fitness, the fatigue.
Walker. Calvin Phillips, involved in every minute of the tournament so far. He's now to sit out for 10 days because of his friendship with Scotland's Billy Gilmore. Fraternising in the tunnel after the game, beyond the prescribed time.
We're going to see plenty of this. England on the ball, lots of yellow shirts, goal side. This is why Sancho is in there. He can beat a man.
Now goes Mount, 1 or 2 arms raised by England. Mount raised himself from the ground and was appealing.
Yeah, he's not the kind that does throw himself to the ground with every opportunity.
Sterling. We're ahead of it. Franco making a challenge. It'll come for Kane! Harry Kane! In the 4th minute. He had to wait a while for his opening goal in the tournament, late against Germany. It's early here in Rome, and England are off to an absolute flyer.
Well, Raheem Sterling's been making them, so he's been scoring them, and he's just made one. A big one there, poking the ball through to Kane, who took it like a player that's got off the mark, that's playing with a bit more confidence now. It was a tough pass, this, but he squeezed it through, and Kane, in the kind of position that he has been all of his career, on the last line, looking for the opportunity.
And then looking for the offside. As he picked himself up, he looked across to the assistant, but the flag has stayed down. Ukraine 0, England 1.
Oh, what a start for England. That's going to be a test up for Ukraine now. Once England get the tails up, they could be tough to stop.
That's a blow for Shevchenko and his players. Determined really to get into this game and give themselves, stay in the contest, gives themselves a chance. But if you, as Alan says, if you let England like the blue touch paper, fear for the fireworks that might follow.
Well, we could see the Ukraine game plan early on, no surprise. They were going to defend deep and in numbers, work their way into the game if they possibly could. Haven't really had a chance yet to pass the ball in England's half.
Played forward by Matvienko, one of the Ukraine players very well known to the England boys. Zinchenko of Manchester City. Drifts off. Had his first football of the tournament in the round of 16. Played a vital part in the victory over Sweden. Trying his luck. We've seen hardly a touch for Yarmolenko, the English-based player. Gareth Southgate's been calming things down. He called himself a party pooper in an hour of the victory over Germany, telling his players, look, that's done now, we've got to think about the next one. To be fair, from all we've heard, the squad took that on board.
Yeah, and they've had plenty of time, haven't they, to think about that match first of all, and then to calm down and think of this one. Mason Mount will be delighted that he's back in the fold. There was a little trip there.
Eighth meeting between the two countries. Ukraine have only won one. That was Dnipro. And England had their goalkeeper of the day sent off very early on, Rob Green. Kanavayev, one of the Dynamo Kiev contingent. Caught by one of the Manchester City contingent, Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, an onus on Karavayev on the right and Mikolenko on the left, really, to provide some width and some balls into the box. Zinchenko, of course, can do that as well from the left.
Shaparenko is another player with plenty of craft for Ukraine. He takes. Ukraine have to do something that no team has done against England so far, and that's score. That's by Matvienko. In the system against Sweden, Zinchenko played as the left wing back. He's not playing there in this game, but he scored a goal and made the very, very late winner. Prior to that, he had been playing in midfield. Karavayev, by Shaw. Zinchenko, who is a real cornerstone in that midfield. He's the one really defensive midfield player that picked by Shevchenko. Malinowski not involved on the team sheet, who's based in Italy, and a wonderful end to the Serie A season. His club Atalanta. There's a bit of mystery as to why he's not involved. Can't really enlighten you any further than to tell you that's a fact. Sabani.
Might not be the most talented Ukraine squad, but they've got plenty of spirit. They'll keep going here. It's very early on, of course. No need for them to try and force things, to panic at all.
Though they were eventually beaten by the Dutch, they came back into a game that seemed to have gone beyond them. They outgrafted Sweden, who were very organised and competitive. Phillips.
Perfect opening 10 minutes for England, as well as the goal. They've had these chances, everybody to get a nice touch of the ball, get a feel for the challenge. No suggestion of any high press closing down. High up the pitch from Ukraine.
Cautionary tale from the English point of view. It's the 6th time in matches in the European finals that England have scored inside 4 minutes. The other 5 games, they've not won any of them.
They don't know that stuff. Maybe Southgate does, I don't know.
Here's Maguire. Steps forward again. Shaw. Going to run down the near touchline. Maguire made a safer ball to Declan Rice. Rice, Phillips and Maguire are all on the yellow card already in the tournament, which means if they were to be booked tonight, they would miss the semi-final, so they can get there. Yarmolenko. By Yaremchuk, first real thrust from the veteran. And his club colleague at West Ham, Declan Rice, dealing with the cross.
He does that so well, Rice. Getting himself back in between the centre halves, filling the gaps.
Chance to get Mikolenko down that left-hand side. He played in the group games.
Well, it was his goal, but what a tournament Raheem Sterling's having. What an assist that is.
Well, he ran off Krivtsov, and Matvienko was playing him onside. So early delight for Gareth Southgate, and then immediately into that taking nothing for granted pose. Remember, one of the occasions where England scored very early was, of course, against Iceland. The exit followed the end of that game. Pretty ignominious circumstances for England. The last European finals 5 years ago, of course. Walker, Kane and Sterling started that game.
Yeah, I think anybody connected with England would like to think they've got a different mentality now.
Walker making the interception, trying to put it to really good use. The senior members now. Play in the last meeting in 2013 between these two countries. Stones. Heroes in their own land, Ukraine, by winning the round of last 16, and publicity in the group games wasn't so good. We saw the anger in Zinchenko's goal celebration in the match at Hampden Park. Yeah, finger wagging at his critics.
A bit of stick back home for their performances, but to get to this point has got to be seen as a result.
Phillips. Again, it's nearly up to 36 England goals. 31 of them have come under the management of Gareth Southgate. Good percentage of those when he's been captain of the team. Sometimes that leadership can take away the focus. In Kane's case, he's had to talk about Ukraine getting criticism. He's had to deal with some. A slow start to the tournament. That's why that goal against Germany meant so much to him. England didn't need it in the end, but Kane did.
Yeah, when you get onto the end of a pass like Sterling provided there, and it all of a sudden feels a bit more natural again. He got off the mark against Germany.
Sancho's leaving Germany. Spelling was a Manchester City youngster. Now, I'm sure that the contract is fully inked in yet, but it's close to being done with Manchester United.
Don't want to get him on the ball, Shaparenko. He's creative, isn't he, youngster? But can see a pass. He hasn't had a chance really so far.
Yarmolenko is the talisman, although his career has been a mixture of highs and lows. There's been a lot of fitness issues. And back to Jordan Pickford. Sure. World Cup squad in Brazil in 2014 and fell out of favour. Fell out of love with playing for England. Yaremchuk has done well and forces the save. It wasn't too difficult one at the end for Pickford, but he's furious that the striker got that far forward, that close to equalising.
Yeah, misplaced pass from Kyle Walker. Too short for John Stones, puts his clubmate in trouble here. But Stones just shunts him to one side, makes it a tight angle.
Zinchenko with the corner. And Maguire both going for it. And they're trying to push out, there's no pressure on the ball, they can't push very far. Zinchenko. Tabani. Nicely worked, and they've got good width here. Zinchenko. A link up there that troubled England.
Yeah, you would see that as their best avenue of attacks, getting the ball to Zinchenko. He can cross in an excellent ball, given the time and space. Yaremchuk can attack it too.
Majority of the 11 out here saving for Ukraine are based in their own country for their club football. It's not easy, a country that's caught up in conflict. Produced some controversy with the design on their shirts when they arrived here. A map of the country, including part of a particular section of the world that Russia feels it has a claim to. It's a huge amount of pride. The team in yellow.
The Ukraine player's gone down. I'm not quite sure who it is, but looks as if it's fairly serious.
Yanko. Actually, was born in the Crimea, the area of disputed territory.
Just let the play go on. twist more than impact injury.
As the tournament has developed and the demands on the players have increased, stoppages have also increased. This was the run from Yaremchuk that troubled England.
Yeah, it was just a side foot in the end. Pickford didn't fancy trying to hold. Actually feeling the way into this game though, Ukraine, seeing a bit more of the ball.
The high temperatures will be refueling breaks. That's obviously where the ball occurred. There he is. Try and carry on. And the goalkeeper. Put forward by Shaw. Trying to hold it up and challenge Zabani. He's a real prospect.
Yeah, just showing his inexperience there, though. The ball wasn't there to be won. Sterling too cute for him.
Still only 18. Zabani. He's the unlucky one who reflected in the goal that Sweden scored at Hampden Park against Forsberg, who could have had a hat-trick, and we'd be seeing another team in yellow and Ukraine here in Rome tonight. Amazing added time at the end of extra time goal from Dogbik, the rookie. Here come England again, here comes Sterling again. Sure on the outside. Cut back. It's too far back as it turned out.
Everybody had gone in towards goal, but the first bit of work Jadon Sancho's had to do there. It's been hard for him to get on the ball, but some great work. Little 1-2, cutting inside.
Here's Sancho again, who does like to roam in Rome. And put Zinchenko into trouble. Karavayev. Right back with plenty of gusto.
Strong challenge for Shaw, but maybe penalised for pulling back Karavayev.
Sirochuk. It's very understated part of Ukraine, and their football has played in the successes of the Soviet Union. You scored your first England goal. A couple of Ukrainians in that team. Mikhailichenko.
Yes, good player. Very good. We beat them 3-1 on the day. It's a goal down.
Here's Shaw. It's Ukraine. We're a goal down here. Past the halfway mark in the first half. Ukraine have taken the blow and have shown signs that they can land some of their own.
Yeah, they're going to have to be clever with their attacks, the way they build them. They haven't got an awful lot of pace in the side. Certainly Yaremchuk or Yarmolenko aren't going to run away from England's defenders.
short. Back again, Karavayev. Coming out to get a touch or two. Strikers sometimes do that. They feel that the ball isn't coming their way in the positions they'd really like to be fed. And of course, the assists as well as the Golden Boot winner in England's Premier League. The season has just finished, so he's good at it.
Yeah, he certainly is. When he does come deep, though, it's the likes of Sancho, Sterling, Mason Mount that can make runs beyond him.
Maguire.
And conscious they've got to keep their width against the massed ranks of Ukraine's defence.
Maguire. England's throw. Tribute to England's medics that Harry Maguire has come back ahead of schedule and has withstood the match action that he's had so far. Shevchenko's got to withstand the situation here and see whether he can play as outwit the Southgate strategy and skills. Sterling on the edge of the area. Sterling can catch the goalkeeper out. Yarmolenko. Yaremchuk took it well, but then turned into trouble. Walker across very narrow, as of course he was playing in that right-sided member of a back three in the last game.
In England, they've got the confidence to squeeze up on Yaremchuk and Yarmolenko, knowing that they're not going to get beaten behind. But those are the runs, I think, that Sancho will be asked to make. Try and turn the defence.
Jadon Sancho, this is his 21st cap this evening. Not to wait to get into this team, but Southgate's plenty of faith in him before. He's scored 3 England goals. Other candidates to fill that slot, Saka. Forfeit because of it. It's a minor injury. He's made a journey here, but he's not on the extended team sheet.
It's difficult to keep hold of this fella.
Sure. Oh, by Christoph.
England will take that. They do work hard on set pieces.
They did very well to qualify. They won 6 and through 2. A place that is delayed and geographically challenging European Championship. England's free kick, already a goal to the good. The man who scored that goal plants the header off target this time.
Yeah, half a chance for England's captain. But, England well in control of this contest at the moment. Being troubled at the back.
Statistics trotted out before the game. Ukraine never kept a clean sheet in matches in the final stage of the European Championship. There have been too many for them. 10 before tonight, and it became 11 very quickly. To stick it long, which he could have done himself.
Yeah, and England's clean sheet record is a great platform to build on. Fantastic one when you look at the attacking talent.
A lot of the recent wins have been 1-0. Conceded 1 goal in the last 10 games. It's to Poland at Wembley in March, and that was a mistake by this fella here, John Stones, an individual error. That's a great credit. Oh, that was a good finish by Jakub Moder. It wasn't something that Poland actually worked. So there's a lot for Ukraine to do. Meantime, without going hell for leather, looking for the substance a second goal would bring. Sancho. Managed by Mikalenko.
Yeah, test for Mikalenko tonight up against Sancho, running at him.
Whether England thought that Zinchenko would be the left wing back as he was in the last game. Sancho's selection was with that in mind, but it's panned out that way from Ukraine's point of view. Zinchenko trying to get into the game in midfield, where he plays most of his football for his country, very rarely for his club.
Drift it out to that side from inside. And he's only had a couple of chances to do that, Zinchenko, so far.
Ricochet that nearly fell into the path of Mount. Sancho, that's a lovely turn. He lost Zinchenko by doing that. Mount. To get through Mount, across it, away by Kutsov. Trying to put the squeeze on here. Short. Sterling is away. Rice has a crack, and it was a fine try. Followed up by Mount. Goalkeeper just saw it in time for Ukraine.
Declan Rice got plenty behind that. It came through a clutch of players. Wasn't easy for Bushjam.
Well, Sophie's down. That's a great replay for showing the goalkeeper's sighting of it. Anything less than that, it would have been in. I think it was truly well hit. I thought so.
Well, there's an obvious gap in quality between the two teams. Ukraine's challenge is to close that gap. They haven't managed to do that so far, but they're hanging on in there.
Kutsov was the player who finished the game against Sweden virtually on one leg. Seeing treatment again here, whether it's a recurrence of that injury. Another great angle on it.
They really curled away from him at the end.
He did use the pace on the shot to get as far out of harm's way as he could. Shaking his head. 30 years old. And the time between the games not conducive to making rapid recoveries, or you have to make a very rapid recovery. That's a sore one. You're going to have to make the change. But he didn't play in the group games because they played a back four. He was the one brought in to make it three at the back in the round of 16. Sigankov, another of the Dynamo Kiev players, is regarded in the group as a model professional. Actually born in Israel, where his father was playing as a professional goalkeeper.
We'll see if they want to keep the same shape or go to a back four now. Looks like a back four.
Exactly the back four that they had in the group games. Himself wasn't involved. Zinchenko was playing as he is now in midfield.
Well, the wing-backs weren't giving Ukraine too much in an attacking sense, so it might not harm them all that much to have to switch the shape.
Dienko, the left back. Tonton running, and Remchuk finds him. To Zinchenko, Tsiganov. Remchuk plays in Belgium. He's been there for some 4 seasons now. Zinchenko. Remchuk, Yarmolenko coming in, danger to England. Neither Yarmolenko nor Zinchenko were allowed to let fly on their stronger sides. England were quick to recognise the danger. That was better.
Yeah, it was. You do get the impression if Remchuk and Yarmolenko can get decent possession in that attacking third, that they are capable of causing problems here.
The record all-time Ukrainian top scorer. Zinchenko with 48. Yarmolenko's got 42. Just wonder if he gets close to 48, whether he'll get picked. Top scorers like their records.
Yeah, he's coming into the tournament. It's been a real stop-start season at West Ham in the English Premier League. More stop than start, really. He's had quite a few injury problems.
Sterling was too quick. That got him a bit of a whack. There was much talk before the tournament started. Sterling had never scored for England in the final stages of a major competition. He's been around for a while now. Suddenly, opening goal in the first game against Croatia, and everything has flowed from there.
Yeah, I mean, you wondered if he'd be in that starting 11 for the opener. He wasn't in Manchester City's team back end of the season.
Sterling tied it off to Mount. Shaw tries to win it back again and does. Sterling for Shaw. And Sancho! And Luke Shaw was offside. Again, there are critics of this new style way of officiating, but if he'd been just onside,
well,
which he
maybe he was.
Maybe he was, yeah.
Maybe he was. that had gone in, VAR would have had a very close look at Shaw's position.
It would have been ruled out by the flag, but I think overturned by VAR. Yeah, it does take a bit away, as we football lovers, we feel it has to be seen to give something back, and that's one set of circumstances where it could have done. Sancho scored, might well have stood despite the flag. Savani, Karabayev, Shaparenko, but only to a position where he has to play it back. Some good moments. Yaremchuk, here's a new arrival, Siganov. Yaremchuk goes again, he'll get there again.
Well, that was a strange one from Kyle Walker. He just stopped. He's having a little argument with Pickford here, but it was his responsibility, the right backs. It's not for the keeper to come. That could have turned out a little nasty for England. Stones tidying up.
The man called Roman in Rome here, Yaremchuk. It's the biggest problem to England so far. Corner bent out.
There is a threat. The big centre forward. There's a bit of confidence about him, having got on the score sheet a couple of times.
Actually, it hadn't gone out. There was a foul by Yaremchuk. It's Brick saying to Jordan Pickford, get on with it. But he will feel, if he hits the ball in the right part of the pitch, he might just have the tools to trouble England. Tom by Kane. There's Yaremchuk again. Zinchenko. Yaremchuk. Take it on.
I think they look a bit happier, Ukraine, with this revised formation, four at the back. It's a bit more balanced.
And it is, in a sense, more practice, Alan, because, as I say, this was the back four in the group game, so it's nothing being pressed into service here. Let's go back to plan A. It wasn't all sweetness and light in the group games. They only just qualified with the one win. In fact, the 16 out of the 16 in the last 16. They got through. Here they are in the last 8, and showing that they still have the wherewithal to go further. But they're a goal down. Came early. Yarmolenko. Siganov. Suddenly having to do a bit more defensive work.
Yeah, they are. Yep. Being stretched, pushed back. Ukraine with a good response here.
Just cut across it. Shaparenko. 90 seconds of regulation time before half-time.
Kane just saying they're going to go to a 4-4-2 there, if my lip reading's any good. Maybe he was just talking about Ukraine's.
I wondered that, yeah. Siganov, there first. Doing a bit more of that. Kane. Some 50-50s. Finding ways to get further up the pitch. First touch lets him down. Out on the left. To link up with Shaw. Sidorchuk. Karabayev. some extent. Ukraine don't want this half to come to an end. They've found a little bit of purpose here. Maybe the cloud of the injuries had a silver lining for them.
Yeah, you can almost see the belief flowing through them now. There's been a bit of encouragement out there for them.
Karavayev. Zinchenko moves the opposition inside out. And a lovely pass here for Karavayev, trying to just cut it back into Yarmolenko's path. But Ukraine reacting smartly. They know the power in England's counter-attack. It's a terrific run by Sancho.
Yeah, got clipped. Switched over to the left, Sancho. Sterling on the right. Good footwork this, though. Dortmund fans would recognise it.
Yeah, massive determination to go with the speed and skill. Into 3 minutes of added time. He scored just after 3 minutes into the start of the game. This team have not wilted, though. Rice. It's a really interesting game, Alan, isn't it? Because England seem to have the wherewithal to really get at Ukraine at the beginning. Here they are right at the end of the half, forcing the corner, but in between, the side from Eastern Europe have shown that they are not here by chance.
Yeah, easy to lose a bit of heart having conceded so early on, but they've steadied down Ukraine and come back at England.
Maguire's header. Sancho. Here's Rice, who became as close as anyone to adding a second goal. Stinger of a shot from distance. Referee looks at his watch. 30 seconds left. Maguire.
Yaremchuk just letting Maguire know he's there. I'm sure Maguire already knows that.
Yarmolenko. Yaremchuk was going to pull Harry Maguire up. I think reasonable spirits. Like that shove in the back. Yarmolenko said, "We're not doing that sort of thing." It looked like that.
Feisty little end to the first half.
Added time to added time. And it's free kick. Maguire takes it. And that is half-time here in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. England came out charging. Harry Kane scored inside 4 minutes. A change of formation caused by an injury has helped Ukraine. Yaremchuk still wanting to be mates with Maguire, or maybe not. But there's still plenty to play for in this quarter-final here for the last place in the semis. And Ukraine got better as the half went on, with Yaremchuk the one who was really troubling England. But those England fans are cheering at the moment at half-time. It's Ukraine 0, England 1.
Yeah, still lots to do. However, England got off to the dream start, didn't they? Harry Kane with his second of the tournament. He gives England the lead. Ukraine have got better. Still lots to play for in Rome.
Know them roads leading us to the top. We dare to dream and dare to put a stop. Gonna scale the summit, gonna reach up high. We are the chosen, the ones to climb.
Lift it high, lift it high.
Kerjaan datang bertubi-tubi, lagi dan lagi. Dia mulai lelah mau menyerah. Ya, inilah saatnya kopi Lucky Day. Racikan kopi susu khas Thailand. Kopinya enak dan nendang. Wow. Siap hajar kerjaan sampai kelar. Kopi Lucky Day. Kopi susu khas Thailand, enak dan nendang.
Introducing the new Jarum Super Next with spicy aromatic blend.
The Bundesliga's top two, the best attack versus the best defense. Haaland's volley is beautiful beyond compare. Oh, what a hit! Magnificent! That is glorious!
It's a beautiful warm evening in the Olympic Stadium in Rome. There are lots of England fans at the stadium and they'll be enjoying the fact that their team lead at half-time by 1-0. Yes, welcome back. Ukraine 0, England 1 on the Super Soccer UEFA Euro 2020 live match programme here on MOLA. John Barnes is with us in the studio. John, is this panning out, this game, as you expected?
No, the goal has changed the dynamic of the game. I expected England to dominate possession, to be being on the front foot, and had it been 0-0, I think Ukraine would have been happy to sit back and soak up the pressure at 0-0. Scoring so early, and that's what England were doing in the first 5 minutes, created chances, pushing forward, and after they scored, they sat back and allowed Ukraine to get back into the game. The saving grace is we're winning 1-0, but I don't like the way they're just sitting back and allowing Ukraine to get in and around the box in dangerous areas.
Hanya butuh 3 menit, Harry Kane sudah merobek gawang George Buchan. Sementara Ukraina setelah itu mulai menguasai jalannya laga dan mendominasi pertandingan. Sementara Inggris hanya menguasai lewat serangan balik. Skor sementara 1-0 untuk Inggris.
Let's have a look at the Super Soccer highlights then from the first half. 2.5 minutes in, John.
Yeah.
They got the dream start.
Yes,
Harry Kane.
Look how many players they have forward. I mean, there's, of course, Raheem Sterling there, but there's Luke Shaw going down the line. Raheem plays a great ball into Harry Kane, and this is where we want him, in and around the box. He hasn't been coming short to get involved in play. And as you say, it's a dream start. 2.5 minutes and 1-0 up. And I was hoping for them to have continued to play on the front foot, but here, as Raheem comes in, onside.
Great ball, that.
Fantastic ball.
Fantastic pass, that. It's really good goal. Yeah. And as much as Bushchan tries to get his body in, he can't prevent Harry Kane getting his second one of the tournament. I, like you, thought from that moment onwards, I thought I'd see England really dominate. They got a little bit sloppy.
Yeah, a bit complacent, a bit sloppy here. You can see Yarim should go through. Yeah, good save. I mean, you know, he should get beaten on his near post. But England have to be careful about that because obviously, you know, they haven't got much pace up front, so they can afford to play a high line. John Stones has got to get tight. He knows he's not going to run away from him. But it's a decent save.
Yeah, routine save. Harry Kane, half a chance for this, John?
Half a chance. I mean, he's being marked. He's jumped above both of them. Yeah, I wouldn't even class that as half a chance. He's done enough to get his head on it. But England have to start playing the way they did in the first 5 minutes again in the second half because they're allowing Ukraine to have lots of possession in and around the box. Here, once again, you can see what Sterling can do when he gets the ball. And this is how we played all, you know, we're not going to outplay teams by passing them, but we have Sterling, Sancho, you know, nothing comes of it. But I think that's going to be England's best chance. A good shot by Rice, you don't score many goals, but that was well hit.
Yeah.
But I think England are going to need Sterling to do something, Kane to do something, or Sancho to do something. It's a fantastic strike because we're not really outplaying teams with the way we pass and around the box. We're really relying on our individuals.
Indeed, yeah, that's the way it's felt. You're quite right. I think when they've involved the wide players, they've looked dangerous. There, Luke Shaw gets himself into a really good situation. We saw the offside flag actually go up.
Yeah.
However, had that ball have gone in and VAR checked it...
Yeah, he was onside.
Luke Shaw was onside. Clearly
the ball by Sterling is onside. I don't know whether the flag went up for him on the second one being offside, but if it had gone, he wasn't interfering with play, so that would have been 2-0. But England have to keep doing that.
Yeah. OK, let's have a look at the stats then from that first 45 minutes. England have a one-goal advantage. Yes, they've shaded possession. In terms of attempts on target, very little in it. Just one save each from both goalkeepers. So not a tremendous amount in the game so far, but England have that one-goal advantage.
Idealnya mungkin timnas Inggris menguasai jalannya laga, tapi menurut John Burns harusnya Inggris bisa berhasil memanfaatkan peluang demi peluang. Nah, bukan Ukraina justru yang menjalankan atau menginisiasi serangan. Harusnya Inggris lebih tajam bermain.
Yeah, having got the lead, John, we didn't see England capitalise on it and maybe go and get a second. And because of that, Ukraine have gradually started by keeping neat and tidy possession, got themselves back in it.
Yeah, them got pace to really run away from you, but of course with their neat 1-2s and passing around, you can see why. Of course, he had an opportunity there. They didn't really, he could have got a shot away. They haven't really got that quality to hurt England, but with their 1-2s and the movement they have around by playing 1-2 touch, they're getting into some good areas. So England have to be careful, and I think half-time has come at a good time for England. Yeah. They can regroup and then start in the second half here. You can see they should have been playing higher up. He's not going to run away from you, so when he comes off your rim to get the ball, they should push all the way up and just force them back. You know, they haven't got the pace to get away from them, but here it's an opportunity. I don't know what Kyle Walker was doing, but you know, these are dangerous opportunities.
Yeah, indeed. They don't seem to have that natural predator, do they?
No. They haven't got the killer instinct. They've not got the individual. There's Yarmolenko, who's in the 6-yard box. That's not his game. So they're nice and neat and tidy. You can see they're playing lots of 1-2s, nice passes in and around the box. This was a half decent effort, because if this was on target, it would have been worrying, because you can see he's a bit flat-footed.
Shaparenko with that one from distance, always going away from Jordan Pickford. Yeah, getting more bodies in. I think they've gradually gained a bit of confidence, John, Ukraine, as the half's wore on.
Well, they are, because England have allowed them to do that. In the first 5 minutes, they were pressing them, not letting them play out from the back, and they're giving the ball away. Now England seems to have sat back and allowed them to have possession. And they're decent on the ball. They haven't got the pace to run away from you. Decent on the ball. So they've given them a little bit of an incentive. Hopefully in the second half, England will come and start the second half and continue it like the way they did in the first 5 minutes.
Selain penguasaan bola, tentunya kecerobohan lini belakang Inggris menjadi perhatian khusus bagi John Barnes, di mana beberapa kali Ukraina memasuki gawang dari Inggris dengan kecerobohan dari lini belakang. The Three Lions khususnya Kyle Walker.
England may have had a shout for a penalty. It seemed a little bit soft with Mason Mount involved.
Yes, I think Mason Mount actually stands on his leg. You can't really see it from here, but maybe in the second one, you'll see that as Mason goes to put his foot down, if you see the replay, he actually stands on his leg. So he doesn't get in there, and he kind of he kind of touches him. Yeah, I mean, we've seen them given, but to be fair, I've liked the way that the referees have refereed now. They haven't just given free kicks or penalties for every bit of contact, because football is a contact sport. If the contact forces you to go over, yes, but if it doesn't, play on.
Ada sedikit insiden di babak pertama di mana Mason Mount dijatuhkan oleh lini belakang Ukraina yang menurut John Barnes seharusnya itu merupakan penalti.
We've had glimpses from Jadon Sancho of what he can do, John.
Well, I think like the whole competition, England's strengths are Sterling getting ball and running, and Jadon Sancho coming on, and you can see here what he can do in possession. He's good dribbling, so we're not outplaying teams, but we've got good individuals who can do that. Sterling does it, Sancho does it, Grealish does it when he comes on. So if you look at the way Ukraine play by passing the ball around more cohesively, we don't do that. We have got good individuals who are so quick and skillful on the ball that they can win the game for us, and I suppose we need to see more of that. But I'd like to see us play a little bit more 1-2 touch, to keep possession, to dominate possession, to not give Ukraine any chance whatsoever.
Apa yang ditujukan oleh Jadon Sancho di babak pertama belum begitu istimewa bagi John Barnes. Semua pemain yang memiliki skill di atas rata-rata, sebut saja Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, itu pun bisa demikian. Harusnya Jadon Sancho lebih mengancam.
Next goal is a big one, isn't it, in this game? England have the lead, but it is a slender one. Is there a way back for Ukraine? We'll find out very soon.
Selamat malam Indonesia, kembali lagi bersama saya Aldo di MOLA TV Pre-Game Show. Januari 2020 kemarin itu gue lagi ada di Instagram dan gue lihat MOLA TV Sportscaster Hunt. Which is hadiahnya itu adalah ke Inggris dan dapat a certain amount of money. Sembari iseng-iseng juga gue self-tape dan gue kirim. Kebetulan gue salah satu yang kepilih dari 7 orang untuk masuk ke babak grand final.
Aldo came to us very inexperienced.
Paul Dempsey natar dan membina gue pelan-pelan. Had to settle with third due to goal difference below Ajax.
Aldo, start and finish on the score.
Score, yes. Tugas utama gue tiap weekend adalah menjembatani semua studio chat antara studio guest kita dan main presenter kita. Guest kita di studio malam ini adalah Glenn Johnson.
Thank you, Aldo. Time for the MOLA TV Man of the Match.
All them roads leading us to the top. We dare to dream and dare to put a stop. Gonna scale the summit, gonna reach up high. We are the chosen, the ones to climb.
Bagus sih, bisa menambah teman lebih banyak, terus bisa berbaur lebih dekat. Yang awalnya nggak kenal menjadi kenal. Ini keluarga kedua bagi saya setelah keluarga pertama di rumah. Ini pengalaman berharga bisa mendapat keluarga kedua di sini.
He disrespects you. Fucking hit it. Go on, Gordon. You got him, you got him.
Kerjaan datang bertubi-tubi, lagi dan lagi. Dia mulai lelah mau menyerah. Ya, inilah saatnya kopi Laki Day. Racikan kopi susu khas Thailand. Kopinya enak dan nendang. Wow. Siap hajar kerjaan sampai kelar. Kopi Laki Day. Kopi susu khas Thailand, enak dan nendang.
Watch every Euro 2020 game.
51, exclusive, live on MOLA. You can watch it anywhere throughout your device.
Along with great movies,
music, a series and much more on MOLA.
For just 25,000 rupiah.
Players are coming back out onto the field for the second half. Let's get the keys to success. What are you thinking, John, for the second half?
Well, they can't sit back and just expect to win 1-0. They may be able to do that, but if Ukraine score, it'll be a different kettle of fish. And of course, I think they have to dominate the ball as they did in the first 5 minutes. Pressing higher up because there's no worry about balls over the top because they haven't got much pace. And I think they need a second goal just to calm everything down.
Jatah dari slot semifinal melawan Denmark akan diperebutkan oleh Inggris dan juga Ukraina yang telah memasuki lapangan di Roma untuk bertanding menghadapi Swedia. Semifinal.
So I think we'll hand you back to your commentary team for the second half. Big second half this for England. Can they get over the line, get to the semi-finals? Here's Martin Tyler and Alan Smith.
Yep, but they've had to sing for the supper, as it were. They've had to really work hard defensively. And Ukraine have reacted really well to Kuznetsov going off, changed the shape, and it's helped them. And they're well in this time.
England start the second half. They had an inviting beginning to the first half with a goal inside 4 minutes. It remains the only goal. Felix Brick looked like a man who was going to do something a bit more than just award the free kick, but I think that's all he's done. He ends up on the deck.
It's a foul, nothing more. But Shaw put in a good ball, didn't he, towards the end of the first half onto Kane's head. Went over the bar. Chan had to make that save from the fierce drive from Declan Rice. Trying plenty of movement. Shaw delivers, and Harry Maguire. It's another Harry. It's another goal for England at the start of a half. In by Shaw. And butted into the back of the net by Harry Maguire.
It's another cracking delivery by Luke Shaw as well. Right on the money. So tempted for anybody to try and attack. Just wonder where Bushchan was in this. He's headed it quite close in. It's definitely a foul to start off with. Trod on Kane's foot. And he's onside. He's onside. And he's always going to get there. Ahead of his man, Matvienko here. He's got the desire. He gets a good look at it and a good run at it. What a big goal this is for England.
Well, he sees the moment here, Maguire, and England are in this process of trying to seize this tournament for the first time to be European champions. And any anxieties that might have been discussed at half-time can be just slightly mollified. Well, a terrific beginning to both halves by Gareth Southgate's side.
I mean, Ukraine worked incredibly hard to get themselves back in the contest. They were having a good go and then concede a needless free kick and get punished for it. It's a long way back for them against a team that hasn't conceded yet, but this tournament has shown us we should never write anybody off.
And conversely, Ukraine would have probably thinking at half-time, well, we're doing better, we've ridden out a potential storm, we can get one back, but we'll try and get two back so early in the piece of the second half. That is a very significant moment here in the Olympic Stadium tonight. It seems, as you say, Alan. We can't be sure. The powers of recovery have been considerable in adversity. Zelenko cleared by Matvienko. He's the man who has troubled England the most. But couldn't get away that time. Stones was too quick.
In the first half, Ukraine's challenge was to close the gap in class and quality, because there is a sizable gap, and they did manage to do that to a certain extent. 2 goals down. It's a steep old mountain now.
Sidorchuk. Pressed by Phillips, heavily outmanoeuvred him. Zelenko and Matvienko couldn't cope with Harry Maguire in the air. Sancho. Ball carrier is Mount. Sterling. Shaw is going to set up another one. He has done. Kane again. He's got 2, England have got 3, and they're running riot in Rome.
Well, those wearing yellow, the heads have dropped. They didn't gather themselves after the second goal, and the third one is the killer, isn't it? A beautifully clipped cross in from the left from Shaw that Kane was never going to pass up here. It's so easy for England, and that's meat and drink for England's centre forward. He's on a roll now, is Kane.
And so is Shaw. So Shaw with the delivery with that left foot. He set up 2 in the blink of an eye at the start of this second half. And now Gareth Southgate can think maybe about those that possibly need a protection from a second yellow card.
Yeah, it's going to make the rest of his second half a little bit more comfortable for him.
Yarmolenko. England have never had really a run like this in a major tournament since the famous World Cup win in 1966. And they didn't concede the goal in the first 4 games then.
Coming into the tournament, I think we were all a little bit concerned about England's defence. Have they got the chemistry right? Have they got enough quality defenders? But that's, until this point, been the strongest suit.
Tsiganov. Mikolenko. Yaremchuk. Even his head must be drooping now. And Harry Kane's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, Zinchenko at the top of the screen, just keeping on. Maguire.
Well, even Shevchenko in his prime will be struggling to get Ukraine out of this. Of course, he was that Milan team that were 3-0 up against Liverpool in the 2005 Champions League final, which they contrived to lose from that position. It's hard to think of that happening to England here. Well, you mentioned earlier, Alan, about the defence being the cornerstone of England's progress to this point. There's always been the feeling about this team that actually their strength is the ability to find so many different players who can score goals. And that they might have to go into this tournament with attack being the best form of defence, but actually found a very good way to defend with the 2 holding midfield players and just letting the men that are scattered further forward go about their business.
Southgate has shown a knowledge of tournament football. He's experienced under 21 level, and of course the World Cup with England in 2018, whereby he's learnt that nobody wins these competitions without a solid defence. And quite often you just play your way into a tournament. It might not be spectacular going forward. You get the job done, you qualify out your group, and then you can kick on.
And England are kicking on in Rome. Harry Kane could become the first Englishman to get a hat-trick in the finals of the European Championship. There have been too many down the years. I was lucky enough to see Michel Platini get hat-tricks in back-to-back games for France in the 1984 finals. They went on to win. Michel Platini, who I believe is responsible for the format of this tournament, spread around the European nations. And his star has waned somewhat since that decision. Zinchenko. What a 10 minutes at the start of the second half for England to go from 1-0 up to 3-0 up in such a devastating fashion. Sancho.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity now, though, for Southgate to rest some of his key men. Sterling there, the far so side, it wouldn't hurt for him to duck out. One or two of the holding midfielders, Rice and Phillips, have covered so much ground over the last couple of weeks.
Yarmolenko will be hurting. He's a proud Ukrainian, he's a proud footballer, and here comes the first of these changes that we were thinking might happen. Jordan Henderson, one of those who has now escaped the risk of getting a second yellow card and missing the semi-final. Surely it will be a semi-final now. Declan Rice departs. Very, very solid replacement.
Yeah.
Rice understands. Steve Holland just making the point, I'm sure, look, we need you next Wednesday. Shaparenko. Breaks for Kane. Phillips. England can take their time. It's with less belief, less gusto that Ukraine are dropping back into their default position. Just getting behind the ball hasn't been enough. Number of games haven't gone to the rankings, so to speak, but this is 4th against 24th, and it is sticking to what you might call recent history.
Yeah, but I think Shevchenko will just be bitterly disappointed the way that his team conceded that second goal. Straightforward free kick swung into the box. As good as the delivery was, it was weak defending by Ukraine.
Maguire did score that second goal by Matvienko. Sidorchuk, crossed by Henderson, eager to impose himself. Missed out, of course, on the chance to start the tournament. He hadn't played any club football from mid-February to the end of the season. Half in one of the warm-up England games. Not a sport for himself by insisting on taking a penalty and then missing it.
Well, Southgate might think about bringing Kane off, but of course on a hat-trick he won't be all that keen.
Well, these are discussions that coaches love when you've got a 3-goal advantage. Yes, it's the case for not taking too much for granted. Sancho, the remiss of England reminding themselves that the last team to beat them at Wembley was Denmark, who seemed to be set to replay that fixture as a semi-final in the delayed Euro 2020. Sancho. Now Maguire. Tennyson's 62nd cap this evening, still not scored. Would top it off. Shaw. For a good period. Left back who looked lost in his career. Had a very bad injury in his early days at Manchester United. And he was fit again, found that the manager had been brought in the interim. Didn't fancy him, Jose Mourinho. A bit of a war of words while this tournament's been going on. Nothing nasty. But Shaw basically saying, just let me get on with my game. If there's any problems, we'll talk about it privately. But
he was just standing in his corner, really. He's been solid, really solid in this tournament. Luke Shaw looks so fit.
And well, he nearly lost his leg in that injury. For United in a European game in the Netherlands. The only worry for him tonight is England losing a goal, I think. Although he's creating, the defenders all pride themselves on this superb run of shutouts. Henderson. Well, that would have been a way to get a hat-trick.
Well, that is the volley of the player that's just scored 2 goals. You don't take these on if you're not feeling super confident. And this one looked like it was going to end up in the top corner. What an effort and what a fine save from Busham.
He could hardly have caught it sweeter. The goalkeeper couldn't catch it at all, but well to get enough on it to divert it away. But England come again with Mount's corner, and they come again, and they score. And would you believe it is Jordan Henderson to top off the night with his first England goal. The management take it in their stride, but the players are thrilled for him. He's a very popular member of the squad. And it's one thing on his CV that he's been trying to get on his bucket list, if you like. An England goal, and he flew in. It's another header.
Well, it's turning into the perfect night for England and Gareth Southgate and for Jordan Henderson. He's just allowed to drift in unchallenged. How do you like them? They've completely gone Ukraine. They've lost that fight, that determination. They know the game is up. Henderson missed that penalty, didn't he, in the friendly against Austria before the tournament, and you thought he'd never score, but that'll taste very nicely.
And Sidorchuk departs. Be replaced by Makarenko. He's been on loan from Anderlecht to Kortrijk in Belgium as well, and England are going to ring the changes. But Gareth Southgate's got a squad here. They say that Rome wasn't built in a day. This squad wasn't built in a day. It's been put together. The World Cup. People forget the Nations League, the inaugural Nations League, when England were finished third in that tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the lads coming on now. La Liga winner, Trippier, Jude Bellingham, he's been tearing it up for Dortmund in the Champions League. Rashford not had quite such a successful season, but what a talent he is.
Well, what a man he is. He's been doing in terms of good works away from football as well. He has been playing with a bit of an injury. He's got a shoulder problem that might need surgery before next season. Jude Bellingham, who is now 18. Comes on for Calvin Phillips, another one who is protected with the yellow card that he picked up in the Germany game. Well, it gets better and better for this England team. They're still nil, the opposition's name, and they've certainly upped the ante in terms of goal scoring. Two 1-0 wins, a 0-0 draw and a 2-0 win. They double their money here. And he hasn't had the, I suppose, the best of days. He's got a wonderful lifestyle away from football in England. But he lost in the Champions League final, as I mentioned earlier, to an English club, Liverpool. He also was in the Chelsea squad that lost to another English club, Manchester United, in 2008 in the same competition. He finished his playing career with a defeat against England. And now, as a manager, it's a bit of a mauling.
Yeah, and what's been now undoing, they've started both halves so badly, conceding.
We've already seen the desire of one substitute, Jordan Henderson. Marcus Rashford, who again, if you mentioned quite rightly, Alan, he hadn't been himself. I think that was fitness issues as much as anything. He would have probably been a real contender to start. He was pushing for Sterling's spot, or Sterling was maybe pushing for a spot that Rashford would have had. It's a deep one. Is it going to be another Maguire header back across goal? He couldn't do it. But he's the one on the booking that they're taking the risk with.
Well, he hasn't got to go into any risky challenges, has he now? He can just step off his man if he needs to.
Looking at the list of those who've scored hat-tricks in finals, which Harry Kane is trying to do. Dieter Müller, West Germany back in '76, that was in a semi-final. Klaus Allofs, Platini, Marco van Basten got a very famous hat-trick against England. Sergio Conceição, Patrick Kluivert, David Villa. Not been too many. Kane is hungry. And Ukraine, you feel, are still there for the taking. There's still another quarter of the game to go.
Yeah, all those attacking players, well, all those England players will be wanting to get on the score sheet now. It's a great opportunity to do that. For the strikers especially, wonderful chance to increase your goal ratio.
Heavyweight England with emphasis on the letter H. Two Harrys and a Henderson. Publicly, England have been saying all the right things. Privately, everyone in the camp knows the extent of the opportunity here to bring England a trophy. Football coming home is the song. And the song, the words of 30 Years of Hurt. 32, 1996. Get in again to get a fifth goal here. In fact, it's now been 55 years of hurt. Yarmolenko. Now England need their goalkeeper, and Jordan Pickford's made a hash of that. Yaremchuk had a bit to aim at. Zinchenko. Well, it's the first bit of overconfidence and losing the defensive shape, and Pickford, who has made that kind of error in tighter games and been punished for.
Yeah, it was the Pickford of old, this, so he has matured in the last 6 months and cut this out of his game, but completely mistimed that one. Annoyed with himself.
Just a reminder, really. It's not the worst thing. Germany's departure was good news for Felix Brick and his team of assistants here. But for the English referees involved in the tournament, it's not looking quite so grand. The national team presses on, of course. It's a decision to make who's going to referee the Spain-Italy semi. Should be a very interesting game. Italy, probably the team, as well as England, that have been consistent in their in doing the job, probably with a bit more of a swagger over the piece than England have had. But England have found that swagger themselves tonight. Calvert-Lewin getting ready to come on. That might mean the end of Kane's chance to get a hat-trick.
Yeah, Southgate before the tournament talking about not overworking Kane as perhaps they did in the Russia World Cup. It's a great chance just to give him the rest at the end of this one.
Acceleration by Mount, who's had an enforced rest, of course. One he would have chosen. And with Ben Chilwell, who hasn't kicked the ball in the tournament yet. Stones. Mendes. Yeah, I wanted to just leaving a foot in. Gets like that when Kane's gone.
Yeah, this is when you've got to be careful. The opposition gets frustrated. They know the game's lost, as you say.
Well, Harry Kane started it. And you could argue when he got his second, England's third, he finished it as a contest. And saved for the semi. Calvert-Lewin, very much a like-for-like replacement. However good you are as a manager, and Gareth Southgate's certainly showing great skill in his profession, it does help when you've got a striker who's left as Kane to lead your quests for glory. Highest of high presses by England.
Just see the number of white shirts there. They all want to get in on the act.
Yarmolenko does find a way to get it over the infield. Ricochet might be one or two of these, given England are pushed on in that manner we've just been talking about. They don't need to do that. The players who've come into the game take the opportunity, as Jordan Henderson has done, to make a mark. Carried away by Pickford, some distance. It was a really good hit, similar from Makarenko.
Yeah, he saw it coming all the way, but these balls do swerve and dip, and keepers quite often don't want to take the chance of catching.
We're coming to the last 15 minutes. In a quarter-final that was certainly not one-sided in the first half by 6 minutes into the second half had become that. Stones. With the travel difficulties and the quarantine issues, so many England fans here as love to have come. Sancho crosses well. Goalkeeper thought it was out. The assistant didn't. Jude Bellingham, who is the latest in the line of youthful talent. The system that England have put together around the training centre at St George's Park wasn't altogether popular at the start, particularly with the senior players. It's quite a remote location. And, these youngsters have grown up with it, and they love it. They feel like a second home there, and it shows the benefits on the field. Zinchenko. Ball by Yarmolenko.
Well, they had one or two moments at 1-0, Ukraine, when Yaremchuk was looking a threat. After conceding the second, England have not looked back.
He said earlier, Alan, about players, whether they know records or not, but England have never conceded no goals in 7 consecutive games, so that would be an achievement to be part of. Jordan Pickford, he can't do it tonight, I don't think, but Gordon Banks' record of clean sheets, minutes without conceding a goal in his sights. Finishes in 90, he'll be about 25 minutes off that, going into a semi-final. Gordon Banks, of course, England's goalkeeper in the 1966 World Cup triumph. Keeping his concentration. Pickford slightly less so. It was a bit of a scuffed kick.
He didn't look so comfortable on his right foot there, Pickford.
I think it's time to remind everyone how well Ukraine have done to get to this game. Sometimes when an excellent achievement ends in heavy defeat, the value of progress is unfortunately and unfairly diluted.
Yeah, no, it's been a fine effort. I mean, they rode the luck against Sweden. Could have gone the other way easily. They came up with a winner. The answer.
Away by Maguire. Fair to say that in the 4 quarter-finals, and have given the most impressive performance, certainly the widest margin. Italy, of course, did very well to knock out the world's #1 nation, Belgium, and show us all again what a force they can still be in this tournament. Zinchenko, Yarmolenko. He would quite enjoy spoiling the clean sheet record.
Yeah, Trippier wasn't going to let him there. He's desperate to get onto his left foot, Yarmolenko.
Corner to Ukraine. Just over 10 minutes to go. They're 4-0 down. Taken by Zinchenko. Headed away by Calvert-Lewin, Harry Kane style. Losing out. That's Pickford's stronger side. Tsiganov. Play came on for Kutsov in that early injury. Gave, it seemed, Ukraine a bit of a leg up with the change of system. To make the system work, you have to concentrate, and as you rightly said, Alan, to give away such a cheap free kick so early in the second half and then not defend it. Die was really cast from that. Bienko. No one's going to chase that.
Yeah, there'll be some tired legs and minds now within the Ukraine team. Final whistle can't come quickly enough.
And his stature continues to rise. And players that can Get better still. Shevchenko, after he gave up playing football, went into politics in his own country. I think he found scoring goals a bit easier than winning votes. But he's a man with a bright mind, and I'm sure he'll find a way to take something from this that will benefit the country that he loves. A race on for Rashford, but the ball wins.
To Wembley, or back to Wembley I should say, where the place will be absolutely jumping.
It's in the government, I think, allowing 60,000 for 2 semi-finals and the final. Yeah, there will be. If England were to go all the way and win it, there will be comparisons with 1966 when England played all the games at Wembley. This time they have travelled, showing no signs of travel sickness.
You have to say Ukraine travelled more than most, haven't they? Amsterdam, Bucharest, Glasgow, now Rome.
Sancho. It was a pretty good recovery by Mikolenko. Sancho and Bellingham, of course, club mates at Borussia Dortmund. Good effort by the left back. Sancho and Bellingham won the German Cup in the England squad. There are 3 Champions League winners from Chelsea, 4 title winners from Manchester City. And Trippier, as you mentioned, winning La Liga, Spain. It's a wonderful achievement. Collectively get themselves on the winners' rostrum in this tournament. Nice dummy by Zinchenko. Yaremchuk. Calvert-Lewin. Henderson squeezing a pass. Sancho. Bellingham's got a lovely sense of balance for a tall player. In any of the midfield roles, really. He's just starting out. Henderson has been there and done a lot of it, not quite all of it.
Well, he scored. It'll be a night he'll never forget because of that. He's had a few to remember. Of the Champions League winning team and the Premier League winning team. No player has ever for England had a lot of long service, obviously, to be in that position. He's waited as long as Jordan Henderson, 60-second cap. Everyone disallowed, didn't he, earlier later on in one of the group games, and a missed penalty, which actually was unlike him to put his own needs before the team. Good thing from England's point of view is that they haven't got any major injuries, have they, Saka? Doesn't sound like a serious one. Easy to lose key men at this point. Italy did with Spinazzola.
One way to get out of trouble. When you're 4-0 up, you can do that. Henderson who fed Sancho. Rashford's on the run. Sancho's put the brakes on. He's going to go the distance here, it seems.
He's done well, Sancho. It's a good call to pick him. There's been a lot of calls to select the lad from day one in this tournament. Southgate and his coaching staff, he knows his mind, what he wants to do for each particular challenge. Courses for courses.
Although all the other challenges have been close ones, really, even the 2 goals against Germany came in the last 15 minutes. There's no feeling that England have been overstretched to this point. So they've pretty much got a clean bill of health. And they've become very tournament tough. The same cry will come out after this one. Enjoy it while we can for this evening, and then almost before they leave the dressing room, I'm sure they'll be talking about the semi-final they know they're going to play. With Denmark, there is certain recent familiarity. They're together in the last Nations League, and England didn't score away or at home against the Danes, although Maguire was sent off in the home game. Christian Eriksen scored the winning goal for the Danes at Wembley from a penalty, and his name will get a lot of mentions in the build-up, I'm sure.
Imagine the Denmark squad watching this match closely, seeing who they were going to get.
Denmark, of course, who have won the European Championship 1992. The goalkeeper, the father of their current goalkeeper, Schmeichels. Extraordinary tournament that was when they weren't even in it, Denmark. For political reasons, the old Yugoslavia forfeited their spot, and the Danes came from the beach and went away with the winners' medals. Yarmolenko. Rashford trying to get there. Two minutes plus stoppage time.
Couldn't have gone any better for England, could it? It's been pretty comfortable, really. Bar the odd worrying moment. But showed the class tonight in all areas of the pitch.
Well, the goals obviously stand out, but the timing of the goals has really been key. Early start, Kane inside 4 minutes, and even quicker at the start of the second half through Harry Maguire's header, closely followed by Kane's header, and then Henderson's header.
There's been a lot of good headed goals this tournament, hasn't there?
Sterling scored with a header. Czech Republic, they got knocked out today. Shaparenko, Yarmolenko. Let's hope for his sake that cap 100 is more satisfying than cap 99. Need to put some players on just to give them a late taste of the competition. And here's Zinchenko. Zinchenko trying to pick him out. Henderson vigilant to the last.
Yeah, I mean 4-0's bad enough, but you don't want to be on the end of a humiliation.
And that is that. No added time. Spared further punishment to some extent. England sail into the semi-finals. You could say soar into the semi-finals given the ratio of headed goals here. particularly in the second half. The 1-0 early lead from Harry Kane looked a bit fragile at half-time. But the England supporters who've made it to Rome saw a sensational start to the second half from the three lions. Nice touch there, Shevchenko and Kane. Great strikers of their respective generations. And for Gareth Southgate, what a scoreline. Denmark await at Wembley next Wednesday. Ukraine 0, England 4.
Well, that's England's best performance of the competition so far. An emphatic 4-0 victory over Ukraine in Rome this evening. Sets up their semi-final clash with Denmark at Wembley next Wednesday. Thoroughly deserved, got off to a great start, and then right at the start of the second half, once they scored their second, they never looked back. Disappointment for Andrei Shevchenko and the Ukrainian players. Their fans go home disappointed, but they've had a good tournament. No question, they've made history. It's the furthest they've ever got in a European Championships. But England march on towards the semi-finals with a really composed and comfortable display in the end. Far too good for Ukraine, and they win 4-0.
Chalk 2, Alpha Platoon, SEAL Team 3.
The agency believes we have an opportunity to snatch Abu Samir.
We're going into Nigeria.
Don't say I'd never take you anywhere nice.
Go, go, go!
Fight to win.
Stand down!
All them roads leading us to the top. We dare to dream and dare to put a stop. Gonna scale the summit, gonna reach up high. We are the chosen, the ones to climb.
I believe I've been contacted by the Mercedes killer.
Why is he just waiting there?
The perfect England performance, another clean sheet. 2 more goals for Harry Kane to get him firing on all cylinders. Harry Maguire joining in, looking very dangerous from set pieces. And Jordan Henderson also coming on as a substitute and adding number 4. So welcome back. It's finished. Ukraine 0, England 4 on the UEFA Euro 2020 live match programme here on MOLA, which means England will be at Wembley next Wednesday to face Denmark in the semi-finals. John Barnes has watched that 90 minutes with us. John, that couldn't have gone better for Gareth Southgate and the players, could it?
It couldn't. And of course, we said at half-time that they needed to start dominating the ball, not giving Ukraine any opportunities. And of course, what the perfect start for the second half. Because of course, once you go 2-0 up in 46, 47 minutes, and then 3-0 up soon after that, they could relax.
Yeah.
Because first half they were 1-0 up, but you know, Ukraine were pushing forward, could have caused problems. Had the second half started for 10-15 minutes, it could have been different. But once we went 2-0 up, it was all over.
Hari ini benar-benar menjadi harinya Harry, di mana Harry Kane mencetak brace